Right. So the challenge that we were facing was capturing some of the data around our operations, just kind of your basic, you know, metrics around productivity and production numbers and things like that, and also operating parameters. So as a process engineer, the big opportunity was the ability to manipulate and trend data that we were collecting on a day-to-day basis in paper, uh, with pencil and paper, but that it was incredibly work intensive to go back and review. So whenever we're trying to do some technical based or technically based troubleshooting and want to understand how was the equipment running or the process running at the moment that a particular abnormality was generated, it was very hard to get the information from our paper systems, right? So we wanted to start digitize that so that, as the operator was doing the work of collecting the data, it was setting up or bridging that gap between that and our troubleshooting efforts. So the data was available to us when we needed to go trend it. So there was that, and there was, like I said, the support of the, the implementation of a lean manufacturing system into the plant that needed just production and productivity and kind of the general metrics data around, how many pounds are we getting per hour, kind of the inputs into an OE calculation as we were trying to create. I think what I liked about Weaver was the ability to customize it, and the fact that the team and that the tool itself was developed with lean in mind. The price tag was right for the experimental approach, if you will, but it was much easier to go to, our budgetary process and say, hey, we need this small amount as opposed to 6 or 7 figures to implement a full IT process. And it was easy to go to our IT group and say, hey, listen, this is the project that we're trying to do. We need a little bit of support around this, as opposed to, hey, we need to kit out all of our production plants with this particular software. And the fact that the price tag was where it was, it made it accessible as something at our approval level at the plant. It's like Stewart's approval level at the plant. So it was easy to experiment into that, and then kind of grow from there. There were two things that made it successful to work with. One, it's and I'm not a programmer. I don't code or anything like that, so I don't know how difficult it would be to do it another way. But creating the forms in Weaver was very easy. So really, I had, with my basic level of computer knowledge, I was able to create forms and tailor them in different ways. And the second thing I think is the customer team, the customer service team, right? Because there was a lot to this that was experimental for us, and you guys were open to all of it, right? It was when we were asking for support building forums, you would come. When we needed specific IT solutions, you would support us. It was a different. It was a team that was available, that was invested in our success, and the fact that there's already a variety of forms created. So if you don't have things in place, you can just grab them right off the shelf. So I'm thinking safety and like the Gemba walk type stuff and all this. You already got forms for it. So if I don't do that today, if I'm a company that doesn't do that today, I can just look at your form and say, okay, I'll build my business process this way. Um, and it actually, it's very effective. It helps you in your implementation that to that degree. So